the dance of the unnamed. The path that can be explained is not the eternal path. The name we give it can never capture its essence. The Tao is both seen and unseen. In its formlessness, it is the source of all things. In its form, it births the world we know. Without desire, the mystery reveals itself. With desire, we only see its shadows. The mystery is the gateway to all wisdom.
Once, in the heart of a village cradled by mountains, lived a philosopher who sought to name the world. His mind, sharp as winter's breath, tried to wrap the infinite in the finite. He named the winds, the rivers, the trees, and even the stars, believing that by naming, he might master them. That by knowing their names, he could unlock their secrets. But one day, as he sat beneath an ancient oak, a woman appeared, her presence like a quiet breeze. Her eyes reflected the stillness of forgotten nights. She smiled and asked him, "Why do you chase after names when the essence slips through your grasp?" The philosopher, surprised, replied, "To name a thing is to know it, and to know it is to control it." The woman chuckled softly, like the sound of autumn leaves. But do you control the wind when you name it? Does it cease to blow because you have called it by its sound?" He paused, then asked, "But if I do not name it, how will I understand it?" Her gaze softened as she knelt beside him, gently brushing a single leaf from the ground. "To understand," she whispered, "one must first allow. Look beyond the words, beyond the form. Can you feel the leaf? Not as leaf, but as it truly is, part of all that ever was and will be." The philosopher touched the leaf, quieting his mind. And for a brief moment, he didn't see the leaf. He saw the pulse of life that coursed through it. The same life that flowed through him, the trees, and the very wind he sought to name. It was all connected, vast and eternal, and his words felt small, as though they were but echoes of a deeper truth. "You seek to grasp the ungraspable," she said, her voice like the dusk. "But some things, the most important things, are to be felt, not captured. Desire shows you form, but to know, to truly know, is to let go, to stand still in the mystery. In that stillness, you will understand more than words can ever tell." The philosopher looked into her eyes, and in that moment, he no longer needed to know her name. As the sun set behind the mountains, casting golden light across the village, the woman rose, blending into the shadows. The philosopher remained beneath the oak, no longer trying to name the twilight, simply allowing it to be. And in that act of letting go, he found what he had been seeking all along, the peace that lies beyond words.
This story contains two profound lessons that speak to all of us, regardless of where we are or what we believe. Life Lesson 1: the power of allowing, not forcing. Too often, in our pursuit of happiness, success, or understanding, we try to force outcomes, believing that if we control every aspect, life will bend to our will. But, just as the philosopher discovered, true mastery comes not from control, but from surrender. In life, we plant seeds, we make efforts, but the flowering happens when we allow it. It's in the letting go that the mystery unfolds. Whether it's in relationships, career, or even personal growth, the magic often happens when we stop forcing and start trusting the natural flow. In the busy world of today, where planning and striving dominate, this lesson reminds us, sometimes, the best opportunities arise when we least expect them. Life Lesson 2: the wisdom of non-labeling. We live in a world where labeling is second nature. We categorize people, situations, and even ourselves into neat little boxes. While this can help us navigate life, it can also limit us. The philosopher's obsession with naming reflects the human tendency to oversimplify, to reduce the complexity of life into definitions that often trap us. But the true essence of things, people, moments, life itself, often exists beyond labels. When we let go of these mental constructs, we open ourselves up to a richer, more authentic experience of the world. In a time where differences are highlighted more than ever, this lesson calls us to go beyond labels, beyond judgments, to see the wholeness in others and in ourselves. As a student of Dr. Wayne Dyer's teachings, I share these reflections with you in his memory. Dr. Dyer devoted his life to helping us all live with more awareness, compassion, and openness to life's mysteries. Let us remember that in this fast-moving world, we don't always need to know all the answers. Sometimes, the best wisdom comes from quieting the mind, letting go of control, and embracing the unknown. To live in alignment with the Tao is to trust in the unseen forces at work, to know that even in uncertainty, there is an underlying harmony. So, as Lao Tzu wrote, the mystery is the doorway to all understanding. May we each find peace in that doorway. In gratitude and in memory of Dr. Wayne Dyer.